Guys, we could all be honest about one thing. Sorry. We can all be honest on one thing. Dragon Ball Legends right now kind of sucks. Now, it's it sucks in multiple ways. It This game sucks when it comes to how fun it is. This game sucks when it comes to how enjoyable PvP is. Now, this game it specializes. This game is mainly about PvP, and when PvP isn't fun, the game might as well won't be fun, unless they drop like a crazy fun event that even if PvP is boring, the game is still enjoyable. They don't have that, but there's so many reasons why this game right now isn't enjoyable. Now, funny enough, it's not the events, it's the characters, which it shouldn't even be a surprise to people. When the character is crazy toxic, the game is basically not fun to play because it's either you have that character or you just can't play the game, and I think it's very unfair. Hopefully, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta changes the meta, but not in a toxic way. Changes the meta as if like if even if you don't have Ultra Frieza or Ultra Goku, if you have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, you can still survive. But not like UMV levels of toxic, but like Ultra Beast Gohan good. Like he was the best character in the game, but he wasn't toxic to fight. You can still beat him. The same thing with every character in the game. You can still beat them like in a fight. It's just like so difficult. But here's the main thing about Dragon Ball Legends right now. This game is when it comes to PvP, you are only fighting against two characters. It is Ultra Frieza and Ultra Super Saiyan Goku. Nobody wants to fight against them every single gosh darn time. Because, first of all, Ultra Frieza just makes you can't play the game against him. He can spam his active gauge, and then once his unique gauge is full, he gets like type neutral and he nullifies endurance like for whatever reason. And then he has a green card that up substitution counts. And like the freaking active gauge is like comboable. When it comes to Super Saiyan Goku, his damage is too high, if we're being honest. And his lock-in gauge is crazy toxic, AoE green card. Then he has a whole KO guard that can save anybody on your team. So Ultra Frieza basically has an extra life. Like, they give these characters way too many abilities that they don't need. What's the point of giving Ultra Frieza a spammable active gauge? What's the point of giving Super Saiyan Goku a KO guard? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that the characters are good. They're just too good. Now, characters that turns out to be too good are characters that gets countered pretty fast. Like, for example, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, before he even came out, he already got a counter. And then, not even like a month later, you got Triku, who was a yellow character. He was a crazy counter to Gogeta. And then we got Ultra Majin Vegeta, who basically was the final character to actually shut down UG4. But then just to top it all off, you got a character who can run through freaking counter gauges, and then we got Ultra Beast Gohan. So UG4 just had no chance of survival. So maybe Ultra Frieza might get the same treatment, but so far, he really isn't. His best counter, arguably, is Metal Cooler, and even then, Metal Cooler isn't doing anything to Ultra Frieza. Because of the fact that Metal Cooler does basically little to no damage, his tanking isn't even that good. So Metal Cooler just overall a bad character. Now, here's one thing I'm going to say. I know that it might be fun using these characters and winning, but after a certain while, it starts to get a little bit boring. Now, obviously, when you're winning like too much might get boring. Here's the biggest thing. There are times where you can win a whole lot and it will still be fun. The character that you are using needs to be fun in order for PvP to be fun for a very long time. Like, at this point, if you're using Goku or Frieza, you're using them to get higher rank. You're not using them to find enjoyability in this game. Because it's impossible to have enjoyability in this game right now. There's basically nothing to do, and the only thing you can do right now is grind rank, and that's not even fun because, again, the only characters you're going to run into is Ultra Frieza and Ultra Super Saiyan Goku, which, again, is the most toxic duo in the game right now because of the fact that they literally cannot die. Like, even if you manage to kill one of them, you probably would have already lost two characters by then. So, it's just GG's at that point. Like, I don't know why they just decided to, because my biggest concern is that it's only going to get worse from here. As if these characters weren't even toxic enough, we're going to be getting some more toxic characters. I swear there's going to be some character that starts off the match with a Rising Rush. Maybe even two. Like, just so you can already start off a match with a double rush. Which, if we're being honest here, that's way too broken for an ability. But knowing Dragon Ball Legends, if it's only going to get more toxic, that's what they're going to drop eventually. Like, we already got a character who can revive 2 times, which with that ability alone, the character already has potential to be one of the best characters in the game, and that character isn't even top 10. So, it's crazy. But I don't know what to say about Legends right now. Legends has so much potential to be a fun game again. But it's just like, you hop onto the game, you do what you need to do, daily missions, whatever, then you play like 3 matches of PvP, and then it's like, okay, now what? Because there's nothing to do in this game right now. You do your daily missions, you probably play 3 matches of PvP, and then you just leave. Because there's nothing to do in this game right now. Now, obviously, when Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta releases, things most likely are going to change. People are going to be summoning more, people are going to be using the character more, but right now, it's just like not fun to play this game right now. Like, the only thing you might have enjoyability doing right now is summoning. And there is really nobody here right now that is worth being summoned for. Like, Ultra Turles sucks, Golden Frieza sucks, Metal Cooler sucks. Like, the best one is Kelfla, and even then, she's only there for 600 Z power. So, she might not be the best option, but the fact that summoning is the best thing you can do in the game right now, and keep in mind, nobody is summoning because people are either grinding and saving for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, or they're grinding and saving for Festival. Any other way, nobody is really summoning right now because there's nothing to summon for. So, if summoning is the best thing you can do in the game, then you know the game is just terrible. Because summoning, 9 times out of 10, will never be the most fun part of the game. Like, that will be one of the most fun parts. That definitely won't be the most fun. Because the most fun is getting the characters and then hopping into PvP playing with them. That's the more fun part. But if we're being honest, if summoning is the best part, and even then there's nobody to summon for, oh yeah, the game is just way too dry. And obviously, hold on, I'm trying to get something. And obviously, when you leave a crazy celebration, the game's going to get dry. That's what it's always going to be like. So maybe in September or October, this game will be like in that middle spot where it's not like super fun to play, but it's not boring. So you will still have at least a little bit of enjoyability playing this game. Now, I don't know. There's also like barely any ways to get CC. So it's basically, you either just play the game to get higher rank, or you just don't play the game. And that's the state you don't want Dragon Ball Legends to be in. Because it's like this every celebration. So I cannot sit here and act like this is new. This always happens. After anniversary, Dragon Ball Legends seems to be dry. After Legends festivals, Dragon Ball Legends seems to get dry. And then even then, before anniversaries, Dragon Ball Legends is dry. And before festivals, Dragon Ball Legends is dry. So, most of the year, or not even most, some of the year, the game is going to be dry. So we can't sit here and like every period of the game is fun. My biggest thing is, when it comes to PvP, you should at least have a little bit of enjoyability when you play it. But the fact that it's the same characters over and over, Ultra Frieza, Ultra Goku, Ultra Frieza, Ultra Goku, Ultra Frieza, Ultra Goku, like, it gets to the point where it's like, dude, nobody is trying to have fun in this game. And it makes sense, because you can't have fun in this game. Like, it's literally impossible. Because no matter what fun character you use, they're going to get annihilated. Because, again, you are constantly fighting the exact same duo over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it gets to the point where you just don't know if you can play the game anymore. Now, why am I making... Now, I know nobody was really thinking this, but why am I making this video? Well, number one, because I felt like it, and the game is really bad right now. And second, Slaybix made a video talking about Dragon Ball Legends just being boring right now. And honestly, I have to agree. Anybody that says this game is fun are either battle rank 20 or 30 and is not fighting any toxic teams, or you're just straight up playing PvE. And even then, the game isn't fun just playing PvE. So, no matter what, you're either lying or you're just low in rank and fighting against people using fun characters. And you wonder why they are battle rank 20, 30, even 40. But, seriously, there's no reason why any of you should have enjoyability playing this game unless you straight up have every Ultra character 14 stars and every character 14 stars. And no matter who you use, you will always win. Unless that happens for you, which I doubt, there should be no reason why you find enjoyability playing this game right now. Now, every game in the entire world is going to have their dry moments. Like, you can't name one game that will not be dry unless it's like a freaking 20-minute gosh darn game. Then you just beat the game and then you don't have to play it anymore. But unless like a 20-minute game, what game is not dry? Like, Dokkan has its dry moments, Sparking Zero has its dry moments, Dragon Ball Legends has its dry moments, even Mortal Kombat Mobile has its dry moments. Like, every game has a dry moment. So I'm not going to act like this is new. But now, it might have just reached, like, the highest amount of boredom. Because, again, like I'm constantly saying, there's literally nothing to do but hop into PvP. And PvP right now isn't a fun experience because you're constantly running into the same duo. Now, it makes sense because you literally have to join them. Like, you can't just run a fun team and then expect to win. No. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get incinerated. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to get incinerated. So, obviously, you're going to keep running Ultra Frieza and Ultra Goku to win and keep up a streak. So, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, it's bullcrap that everybody's using Ultra Frieza and Ultra Goku. Because basically, right now, you have no choice but to use them. And if you don't, why even bother playing PvP? Like, that's like, why even bother? Like, I'm not saying you have to use both of them, but if you're not even using one of them, why are you even playing this game? Why are you even playing the game right now? Because you can't win. Even if you manage to win, either the opponent you're fighting is trash or you won by luck. But if none of those scenarios happen in a match, you will probably lose. Because it's basically nearly impossible to beat that duo. Ultra Frieza spamming active gauge over and over and over again. And then Ultra Goku having a green card over and over and over again. And it's like, you can't do anything. You can't. You have to sit there and take the combo. And then it gets to the point where it's 10 seconds of the match started. And you already want to leave. Dragon Ball Legends PvP shouldn't be like that. It should be like, okay, I want to play this whole match. Because PvP is starting to become... or is really fun right now. That's what it should be like. It should get to the point, why do I keep saying that? It shouldn't be like a boring feeling. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully Dragon Ball Legends changes something in the future, which they will. They will. Legends Festival, I'm expecting to be fun. Hopefully. But again, this duo is so gosh darn toxic that you might be fighting against them for the next couple of months. Guaranteed. Like, from now until like November, you might be fighting this only duo over and over and over again. Now, obviously, in the future, we're definitely going to be getting some counters to them. So then you can just use them and then you will survive. I don't think, like, after a certain while, that duo won't even be that much of a threat and you can actually play PvP. But, again, like I said, it's only going to get worse from here. So... because it somehow managed to. We thought, like, maybe not we, but I personally thought when Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta comes out, what could possibly get more toxic than that? Then we got UMV. Now, I thought there is no way it could get even more toxic than that. Then we got Transforming Vegito Blue. But he's not toxic. Like, he's not that much more toxic than UMV. He's only toxic because his combos can last forever. And the fact that he literally can't be affected by counter gauges. He nullifies that. So that one makes him even more toxic. Okay, fine. We can't get anything more toxic than that. Ultra Cell, yes. Ultra Cell is toxic. I don't care what you say. Ultra Cell was toxic. He had endurance, and then he permanently nullified endurance, which, how does that make any sense? His ultimate is an Aura's action, and on top of that, it does a heck ton of gosh darn damage. His freaking green card is crazy, and once his unique gauge fails, it's like he can two-card anybody. Like, what? Like, that guy is just an absolute pain to fight. Now, it possibly can't get more toxic than that, right? The next character I'm about to name is a character I literally talked about in one of my videos. I am 1000% sure that if you saw that video, you already know what I'm talking about. Who was a character who somehow got more toxic than an Ultra? Majin Ku somehow. Majin Ku is more toxic than Ultra Cell. And even at this current moment, I can say he's more annoying to fight. I'm not saying he's better, but he's more annoying to fight. Now, not that much because we have characters who are immune to, paralysis and stuff. There's even some that's immune to faint, so that's pretty good. But here's the thing, though. How do you manage to make a 1% sparking more toxic than an Ultra character? Because either you make the Ultra character super bad, which obviously they didn't make Ultra Cell bad. He was the best character in the game. Or you make the 1% sparking too broken, which they did. He can freaking paralyze, I don't know how many times, faint, I don't know how many times, and he can just get his advantage back 5 times popping the green card. Why not? Why not give him that ability? Now, how could it possibly get more toxic than that? We have MUI Goku. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I can say MUI Goku is more toxic, but one thing I can say is that he was definitely top 3 most toxic characters in the game. No matter what, any UI variant of Goku will turn out to be toxic. The only 2 that wasn't really toxic was Revival UI and the purple one. Besides that, every other UI Goku was so annoying to fight. And MUI was one of them. Now, it begs the question again. How could it possibly get worse than that? How? How could it get worse? The guy you see on my screen right now is how it could get worse. Ultra Frieza. Spammable active gauge. For whatever reason, he has endurance. For whatever reason, when his unique gauge fails, he gets type neutral and he nullifies endurance. For whatever reason. And then on top of that, he has a green card that ups substitution counts. For whatever reason. And then you can combo with the active gauge. For whatever reason. So he just does everything, basically. And then he also cancels buffs. For whatever reason. Now, how can it get more toxic than this? Right now, we do not know. But one thing I can guarantee is that it's definitely going to get more toxic than this. So, some of us literally wish we were back in the freaking UG4 meta. I'm going to say this right now. I agree, but I don't agree. Because UG4 basically couldn't be hit, but it's the freaking same thing with Ultra Frieza. You can't really attack him. And even if you do, you can't do much. Because once he dies, guess who's going to save him? Super Saiyan Goku. And then he's back to being a freaking monster in the game. And I guarantee, like I said earlier, by the time you at least knock out one of the, if the opponent is using, let's say Ultra Super Saiyan Goku, Ultra Frieza, and Krillin, and you're using LOE, by the time you kill one of their characters, you probably already lost 2. And your third one is close to being dead. So, you just lost the match. And the person that's probably going to die is Krillin. So, now you have to deal with 2 Ultra characters, and there's no way you're winning. But, yeah, guys. So, right now, Dragon Ball Legends isn't fun to play right now. But if you want to find ways to make it enjoyable, you're going to have to use some fun characters. But here's the problem. You can't, because you'll just get incinerated so fast that you won't be able to utilize and use the fun characters. So either you be toxic or you just wait for when the game finally becomes enjoyable, which may or may not be Wednesday because of Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So we need to see how good he's going to be. We need to see if he changes the meta in a good way like Ultra Beasts go on. But yeah, so that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys, and peace.